Welcome to the Awakening Table. We are Calliope and Petros, and we created this channel as a means to share our experience of going through the dark night of the soul currently, and doing this through open, raw discussion in a round table manner. We do this knowing that others are going through it, and we hope that sharing our experiences may help you with your journey.
If you enjoy our videos and content, please show us some love by hitting like and subscribe and the notification bell to be notified when a new video is out. Thank you. Today we'll be talking about motivation, energy, and getting through your day to day. It's okay if you are struggling. Own it and look after yourself.
Yeah. If there's one thing going through this dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, call it what you will, is it can drain you. And it drains you mentally, then physically as well. Did you find that?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Very much.
I think you get into this sort of heavy energy, which is understandable, and it takes a lot to carry it through a day. I think, especially if you've got commitments, whether it's family, work, whatever you run a business, whatever it might be, it takes its toll.
It does.
There are days where I just want to lie in bed.
Yes, lie in bed, trying to figure out what's bothering you, what's making you feel like this, why are you feeling these certain ways. Yeah, you just want to be alone. You don't want to see anyone. You should be in the dark.
Yeah. So motivation is going to be a bit low because, well, let's face it, you're in the spiritual desert, so to speak. You feel disconnected, as we've said in many of the other videos. You feel you don't know where you are, where you belong, who you are, how you fit in, and there's a lot of energy being used up by this transformation as well, because it is a transformation that's going on.
Yeah, especially when you're feeling negative, that's draining a lot of the energy.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of negative thoughts because we were so used to identifying as who we were. That's now dying off, and you're sitting there thinking, "What the hell?"
Yes, this never happened. Why is it happening? Where do I go from here? What do I need to know? What do I need to find out? What do I need to discover?
By the time you get through those questions, you're fried.
Exactly.
You're fried. And you don't know what you want either. Like there's a part of you that, or the ego part of you that says, you got to be doing something, you got to be connected to something, you got to this, you got to that. And then there's that other part of you that says, well, that's great, but I've got no idea what that is. And that's draining. That's trying to figure that out and trying to keep all the negative thoughts, the fears and everything at bay whilst doing your day to day. It's not easy.
Yeah. And like you said, you just want to sleep, watch movies, whatever, sleep all day. You like sleeping. Yeah. So and then you just get lazy and you don't do your normal day to day, cleaning your bed, making your bed or dishes or making a snack, those kind of things.
And the other thing too is maybe that night you didn't sleep because your brain's racing and all of that. That will add more to the physical and the mental element to it.
You lose more energy.
So
yourself.
yeah, exactly. So I know that when I was going through this, I still go through it sometimes, but I'm a little bit more aware now of what's going on. But I know for a long time I was just shit scared of what was going on. Like what on earth, what is happening? I thought I was becoming mentally ill. I thought this is it. I'm going to die. And should I end it all? By no means do we encourage that behavior. This is just the thinking pattern at the time I'm describing, which is common during these kinds of thoughts.
I had those kind of weird thoughts
during the dark night of the soul. That is, and that kind of thinking is heavy thinking.
It is heavy, because you don't know what's going on. If it's like a big shock that just comes out of nowhere, you're like, where's this coming from? And who do I talk about this? Can I talk about this with anyone? And will anyone understand? Well, if I don't understand, then who else is going to understand?
100%. It's like I can go talk to someone, but what am I going to say? I don't even know what's going on.
Exactly.
And I think the other thing that makes it really tiring and can bring on feelings of defeat is no one ever knows how long the dark night of the soul is going to last for them.
Yeah.
You just have to accept it lasts as long as it lasts.
Now that you said that, I felt like there was a time limit. Did you ever feel like there's a time limit?
Well, there
Like,
was a part of me that said, all right, I need to have this done and sorted by X time.
yeah,
Doesn't work that way.
doesn't work that way. Like,
It ends when it ends.
yeah.
It's bizarre because it's almost suggesting that there's a higher power behind this. And personally, I believe there is. What that is, I don't know. But there is that part of us that says, all right, I need to get over this by X time or whatever. Doesn't work like that. You don't rush a seed that's developing into a tree, do you? It takes as long as it takes. You just keep doing the work to nourish it so it grows,
Yeah.
which is what I would say worked for me, at least when I feel low motivation. Sometimes the best thing to do is just the basics, just one foot in front of the other. Just you got work, go to work, do your job, make yourself breakfast, make your bed just for the sake of making your bed and saying you did something. Just do basics.
I know it can get a bit tough because I remember there was times where I didn't feel motivated to go to work only
Yeah.
because I was like, I didn't know what's going on, or I wanted to figure out what was going on so that I can have a space of, some mind, like, so I can work and at a peaceful mindset,
Yep. But
Yeah.
and sometimes you just won't get the answers. The answers will come when they come. And sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. So sometimes you just have a day on the couch in front of the TV or whatever the case may be for you. And that's okay. The biggest part of the message I hope we get across today is it's okay. If you're not feeling motivated, if your energy's low, if you're just struggling through the day, it's okay. Do the basics.
Yeah.
And if you do just a little bit each day towards yourself, it adds up.
Does,
Right?
yeah. Take your time with it because, like, there was times where I just had a lot of lazy days because I didn't know what I needed to figure out, or didn't feel motivated. And there was times where I was motivated. I kept a routine, and then I went back again. So take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a big part of this is, and it takes a while, it's when you're going through a dark night or so, there's a lot of purging. And there's purging, I believe, that happens even beyond our conscious understanding or our sort of our conscious state. And it takes time because, if you think about, for most people, they're usually in their 30s or 40s when this hits them hard. That's 30 or 40 plus years of conditioning that you're trying to purge. It takes time, and that takes a lot of energy as well. And a lot of this is happening behind the scenes, even without you realizing. Um, that's what I've sort of came to realize and find out too. Like there's stuff going on even beyond our conscious awareness.
Yeah, I feel the same. And like you said with the conditioning, I feel like that really has taken a toll on because if you're like, well, I'm in my 40s,
We
so
don't look it, do we? Not at
no,
all.
20s, like you just realize like, wow, how much conditioning has been putting onto me, So,
That surprised me. I thought I was relatively on top of it, but this bout of Dark Night of the Soul, this sort of year and a bit that it's been going on for me, has been mind blowing. It's almost kind of I've actually felt disappointment in myself, which is part of the purging process anyway. But I actually felt disappointed at how much conditioning and how much self-sabotage I had in myself.
But it's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's like it's just how we were brought up, or maybe and from school as well, and things that we see on TV. It's like we probably didn't realize that we're taking all that conditioning amongst ourselves. So
But even as adults, we pick up conditioning. And I think that's the bit that surprised me the most as an adult, how much conditioning I've taken on, that I've now got to try and cleanse and get rid of and uncondition as I figure out what I'm moving towards and who I'm going to be and what's my place in the world.
yeah,
It's
it's a process.
it's
A
a
very long process. Yeah.
that requires
A lot of dedication, a lot of time, to be
patience.
patient.
Bloody
Yes.
patience. I'll never get through it. I don't think. I just patience.
It's tough, especially when you don't know, and patience is not as a strong suit of ours, like yours. It can be very frustrating. Yeah.
There's that part of us that says, I need it sorted now, 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 now.
Mm,
This is too uncomfortable. I need it sorted now.
mm.
But you got to sit with it.
Gotta sit
You
with
know?
it. Ask more deeper questions sometimes. Maybe face those things that you feel that is affecting you, or it could be something that affected you in the past. Try and face it head on, and then go through that obstacle, and then yes, bit by bit, take your time with it. Don't push yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And take the time to explore. This is a great time to explore different things, you know, just to find out things about yourself, and to, you know, start bringing yourself closer to connecting to whoever you're going to be next. Um, and work with people around you, like your boss. If you're struggling, talk to them as well. But, in most cases, bosses will understand, or at least try and set your time up in such a way where you're allowing time for yourself, time for your exploration. But also, I think the other thing too is try and make your day to day as easy and comfortable for yourself as possible, from the perspective of just acknowledging what you're going through and knowing it's okay. And you feel what you feel. Just keep doing what you got to do, right? You don't have to get caught up in what you're thinking or feeling, but it is important to acknowledge it and then just get on with what you're doing.
mm. And notice like what negative thoughts come into play. Like if you once you notice how much negativity you put in your mind, then you can acknowledge that and then try and transform that by saying positive affirmations, or
Yeah,
you know turn it around. That way you can reprogram your mind and change your patterns and your mindset. I know
mm,
that takes time to develop. I found some ways of doing it which worked. Like they say, well, Lao Tzu says, like, it takes 100 days to change a habit. I tried that. Well, they say 60 or 100 days. It depends on the person. So what I did is like I journaled morning and night. So gratitude, so 10 affirmations or gratitude. I sat in the sun in the morning. I did a bit of so I made my bed. So I had tea, coffee, or breakfast. And then I sat outside, enjoyed the sunshine, did some affirmations. Then I'll do like a 5-minute Tai Chi. And then after that, I did like a 20-minute meditation with Dr. Wayne Dyer, which I found that really helped. And I kept that consistent pretty much pretty much over the 100 days. I stopped it, yes, but and then yeah, see these are the things that you're gonna have to face through these obstacles. So you get past them, and once you keep doing it, you start to remember the good affirmations that you've written down in your journal. It's like it's already locked in there. So if you have ever come across having negativity in your mind, you acknowledge it and then stop yourself, and then try to say the good affirmations, and that way you can remember that about yourself. Yeah.
yeah. And I would sort of say, remember, there's two things I would say to do or to remind yourself of, and one is thoughts are just that, right? So they might make your motivation and energy a bit low, but remind yourself this is just a thought. It's not. It doesn't have to be true. Or it's not true of you right now necessarily, nor does it need to be true, nor is it without a possible solution. And then the other thing I would sort of say is ask yourself one of two questions, or ask them both, and that is, if you get a negative thought that's sort of making it tough to get through your day to day, just ask yourself, what else could this mean? What else could it be? Or what's the best that can happen? And
Yeah.
focus on that.
Yeah.
Um,
And find out where's this negative talk coming from?
hmm,
Where's it coming from? Because I always wondered, like, why am I being so hard on myself? Like, where's this coming from? Did it come from childhood? Did I get abused by, like a teacher, like, not helping me with my work and that kind of thing? Where's it coming from? So I asked a lot of questions, and then I realized, okay, enough is enough, enough bullying, it's time to like love yourself and heal from whatever trauma or experience that you've gone through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the biggest thing is, don't punish yourself if you're having a tough day. If you have days of struggling through this, just keep chipping away, even if it's the most minor of chips. Just keep chipping away, one foot in front of the other. Pardon me. You'll get there. It's when you do nothing at all, and I'm not talking about a positive nothing where there's a sense of surrender. I'm talking about just completely quitting and giving up and doing nothing at all. That's when you get nowhere. But if you just chip away, even if it's the tiniest of little progresses, and that's fine. And if you have a bad day, that's okay, because you got to take the bad with the good. And a bad day doesn't mean life is over. It just means, all right, things didn't quite go my way. I may have had to face a few challenges to overcome. That's fine. It's a sign of being alive. Just chip away, be kind and compassionate to yourself. As much as you can, also keep physical activity, go out for walks in nature, have a workout, whatever the case may be, catch up with friends. Do the little common sense things.
And also change maybe your diet as well. Maybe diet like what you eat, maybe eat more greens and herbs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a great time
Experiment.
exactly. It's a great time to check in with your diet, and it's a great time to start reinventing yourself as best as you can. But small steps, like there's no rush, there's no race, there's no clock ticking. Your ego will tell you there is, but there isn't. This has to happen in the time it happens.
Yeah.
And it's going to be it's going to be tough in that. Yes, there'll be days where there's low motivation, low energy. That's okay, because there's a lot of work going on in the background as well. Remember, so be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and have someone that you can talk to, that someone you can trust to talk to, because you don't have to go it all alone. Even leave some comments underneath our videos. We do check them fairly regularly to make sure that we get back to you. And in fact, if you've got some tips or thoughts around, getting through your day to day when motivation and energy is tough, share it. There's always someone that may benefit from it that's going through this.
Even if it's something that's you think it's a weird question or whatever, just don't worry, ask it. We be comfortable with us, I'm happy for those ones.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't mind a little bit of weird and strange.
Yeah.
And you might find that it's not as weird or strange as you think. So
as Oracle, the Delphi, she says, know thyself. So take your time and slowly, day by day, you'll figure that out.
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes, you'll get there.
You'll get there.
You'll get there.
It's the little gains. It's the little, I don't mean to quote this, that's often said in the personal development sort of field, but it's the 1%ers that count. If you grew 1% every day, by the end of a year, you'll have grown 365%. That's massive. You don't see the little gains. It's when they mount up that you then see and realize, I was getting somewhere. I'm getting and doing something here.
You'll probably discover something new about yourself that you didn't know that you had in yourself, like a talent or something. So, yeah.
You don't know what you might unearth, so keep at it. And if you need to take it easy one day, take it easy. Take it easy for 2 days, 3 days, whatever it takes. Just chip away slowly. That's the key message here. Chip away slowly. Days will be tough, but you'll get there.
You'll get there.
Trust
me, you'll get there.
All right.
Alrighty.
What do we reckon? That's it?
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a message there in the comments. And hope all goes well.
Thank you, and peace be with you. Bye.